You're listening to Brand, the marketing show. With your hosts, Thomas Sterling.
But now's the time. Giddy up and go.
And Veronica St. Cyr.
So on brand, I will take it.
An unfiltered conversation on brand strategy.
That's where the best work happens.
Marketing trends.
They're keeping it relevant.
And emerging technology.
$1 billion. That's when you know you made it.
You're excited.
I'm pumped.
All right, let's kick things off.
We've spent a lot of time on this show talking about product placement and the evolution of product placement. And in a world where everybody has a smartphone in their hands, advertisers have an opportunity. They have a moment to put more in front of us and our very discerning eyes. What are your thoughts on this, V?
So we're already tracking a shift from one-off content to branded episodic series, which is a direct response to the unpredictable and ever-changing social media algorithm. Moving from the one and done, jumping on trends to this consistent narrative building, looking at what that episodic content might entail. We are used to seeing product placement. Think Reese's in E.T., even SNL's Californian sketch being revived to help sell the new Volkswagen ID Buzz, aka known by its official name, the hippie van. But the change that we're talking about today and the shift that we're now seeing are brands that are not being a part of content that already exists, not posting their own content series that has to do with their product, but creating content people actually want to watch.
I mean, our audiences are just getting smarter and smarter, so brands have to get more creative. And with that, let's get into it.
It's showtime. Well, I'm back. I feel real good about myself, you know what I mean? So, without further delay.
HomeGoods versus BILT. What's it going to be, Veronica?
As a HomeGoods shopper, I am happily taking HomeGoods.
Okay, all right. Is it because you've never heard of BILT before?
I heard about BILT a week ago when you told me we were going to do an episode about it. Does that count?
All right. Well, BILT is super new. Founded in 2021. For the listeners that aren't familiar with it, it's a fintech company. I know, very exciting. Lots of innovation happening in fintech. They are known for rewards programs, and their entire focus is around renters earning points for paying simple things like rent. But their mission is broader. They really want to focus on making it easier for renters to earn all sorts of benefits. And their focus is around providing rewards on dining, fitness, pharmacy, travel. But more broadly, from a mission perspective, they want to help renters find their own slice of heaven. They want to give you the opportunity to redeem some of those rewards back towards potentially even a down payment on a house. But you could also put it back towards rent. You could also put it towards something like student loans. So I think for the folks that are feeling squeezed right now and saying, is homeownership really hard? They want to come out and make that more affordable.
And the gamification setup of a credit card, because they have a BILT card that you can have, is something that we've had rewards with all these other card companies, but they haven't really cracked the code on the like fun tech forward gamification piece of it like BILT. I will say though, when we did prep for this episode, I did think for a moment that this was Billy McFarland who threw Fire Festival's Magnesis card. I was like, that sounds too good to be true. It's not.
The rewards for that card, I think, were just like drunk sleepovers, and you could like find a couch if you wanted to, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
I don't know. The couch wasn't even real. The couch was on fire.
Jokes aside, the bulk of their marketing really is targeted at younger, digitally native audiences, Gen Zs, millennials. Makes sense. I mean, you're dealing with student loans, you're dealing with the housing squeeze. That means that audience is primarily on social. So everything that they do is really social first. And so their team really had a tough challenge ahead to say, okay, how do we make noise in this booming, crowded space? BILT did something really unique. They launched a short-form sitcom series exclusively on TikTok and Instagram called Roomies, 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 where they focus on all of the different challenges that people face in their day-to-day, and the brand is nowhere, except it's everywhere, and that's the whole point.
But before we go there, we have to talk about who set the stage. And when I say set the stage, I mean with some uniquely found decor. HomeGoods, founded in 1992, is part of the beloved TJX Company. TJX Company's portfolio consists of TJ Maxx, Marshalls, HomeSense, Sierra. They have stores in Canada, Europe, Australia. Their brand identity is typically centered around the treasure hunt experience of shopping, which is very aligned with why people love thrifting. Like, you might go in for one thing, you won't get a shopping cart because you're like, I don't need it, I know what I'm getting, and you walk out and your arms are full and you're like, how did I just find a new bath mat? Right? It's all about this discovery that's maybe unexpected. Their brand has a very loyal following. Even preparing this episode, you talk to people about HomeGoods. People friggin' love HomeGoods.
People love it.
However, HomeGoods has a marketing strategy that typically is all about, showcasing the product, showcasing how going into HomeGoods, you can have this discovery and you can elevate your home, vignette-styled rooms. The campaigns are always emphasizing that it can be a place where you can lean into and express your own personal style. But during the pandemic, a lot of us went crazy. Some of us got creative. And HomeGoods got very creative, partnering with ad agency McCann to launch a scripted comedy series. So airing in late June of 2021, coming off of the height of the pandemic hitting, stores closing, sales declining in HomeGoods stores because it wasn't really set up to be an e-commerce digital first brand, right? That doesn't really speak to the treasure hunt brick and mortar experience. They put out a comedy series starring Jillian Bell, who you might know from Workaholics. She was in 22 Jump Street. Major departure from their traditional ads. Major departure from most brands' traditional campaigns, where they launched Home Sweet HomeGoods on YouTube, which stars Jillian Bell, a woman who goes into a HomeGoods to find a wedding gift and ends up moving into a HomeGoods. And the series is about her kind of wacky interactions moving and living inside of a HomeGoods store, which is absolutely hilarious, and we brought a clip.
Excuse me, where's the bath mats? Oh, I don't work here. I live here.
In the store?
Yes.
As a joke?
Don't be rude.
I mean, like, are we on a prank show?
Oh, I love those. Yeah, are we? No, you're not. I'm just a normal woman setting up a normal living room in her favorite store. Normally. Oh, bath mats, second aisle in the back. Thanks. Yeah.
So Home Sweet HomeGoods is even listed on IMDb as a television miniseries. It had a significant impact on sales growth for HomeGoods. Again, kind of as the world reopened, people were able to go back into stores, but they found this creative way to still connect with people when they couldn't physically enter the store. Though I'm sure some of us dreamed of leaving our house and moving inside a HomeGoods. I don't know about you. Got a little wild there. TJX Company's stock has continued to climb since then. Over the past 5 years, we've seen 131% growth. So this is a portfolio of brands that is not afraid to do something creative and watch it pay off. It's kind of funny. If you look at some of the reviews on IMDb, it even started with the great movie trailer when you watch any show that's like, this is a story filmed on a closed set.
Story?
Yeah, exactly. It says this is a fictional story filmed safely on a closed set. You can't actually live in a store, throw a party inside one, or use any of the products before purchasing them. Don't try this at home, ... goods. And the top review is someone who's going, what even is this? Maybe it's a promotional thing presented by HomeGoods. Maybe. Also, surely it's not a real show. Well, anyways, some of the actors are people who I enjoy seeing. And then it just continues from there. So in a way, this clever idea paved the way for what we're seeing happen with other brands, and notably for today's episode, BILT.
The thing I love about Home Sweet HomeGoods is the comedic range and the fun and the flair. She is so great, and it just positions the brand in such a lovable way. 6-minute long episodes, though. If we take that and we think about what BILT has done, they're doing bite-sized ones that are set up for the scrollable world that we find ourselves in today. It all centers on this story of Ellie from Ohio and her journey moving to New York City, trying to find roommates. And we can imagine, and we've had friends that moved to New York, they're all dealing with the challenges associated. And so, okay, an app you can pay rent on. Okay, so that happens once a month. Okay, you don't need to be thinking about it all the times in between. But they tie in the product throughout, just them thinking about buying things, sharing dinners together, all sorts of things. I wanted to play a clip just to kind of anchor us.
Our AC is broken, and it is so hot.
Technically, New York is now classified as a humid subtropical climate. Due to rising temps and the urban heat island effect, the city retains heat. It's like a slow cooker.
Show the meme of New York having 12 seasons. We've moved beyond summer into hell's front porch.
Isn't there like a super who could come?
He's in Far Rockaway.
Sergio on TaskRabbit has 4.8 stars, has done 389 AC repair jobs, and is available this afternoon.
No, Ovi, I don't want to overstep the D'Souza.
I don't want to melt.
So what's funny is in most of these episodes, they don't talk about the BILT product. It's only mentioned in the bio description at the top. It just says this is a fictional series by BILT, and then links to their page, not even on BILT's main page, where they have other cool shit going on. But if you notice, they have product placement for other brands, which like they talk about Dwayne Reed. They have like Laces Out Merino, all the products. Someone's cooling themselves because they're so hot with like frozen peas, frozen fruit, French fries. All the brands are out, which makes you think, are they creating content where they're then selling product placement to some of the brands that have maybe partnerships with the companies they give rewards on? That's like so smart.
I mean, the cast is also incredible. The delivery is fabulous, and the show writing, if we even want to call it that, the ad writing is hilarious.
Yeah.
Also, New York has to be one of their top markets. And so for them to base the show there is just smart.
Yeah, it's like Sex in the City. It's almost like New York was the fifth character.
And HomeGoods, Home Sweet Home. How many episodes did they do?
6.
6. So they put a lot of effort into the production of those.
Yeah.
These, the production's still pretty high. I mean, the quality of the camera work, everything else, but it's all just like designed to look shot on iPhone. Maybe it was shot on iPhone, maybe not. Either way, it's just quick little hits of information. And the followers have spoken. Okay, wait, is this like a TV show but on TikTok? I know this is a show produced by a company that rewards you for paying your rent, but I wouldn't be able to tell that's the case after watching these episodes. And this is my favorite. I know this is actually a stealth ad campaign for a company, still watching every episode. BILT. How is this an ad?
Writer Rachel Carton of Lincoln Bio got to speak with BILT's Senior Director of Content and CMO, and BILT said about putting this together, the idea came from observing our audience and recognizing a gap in how brands were showing up in the content space. We saw how members were all navigating the universal experience, roommate drama, career pivots, just generally figuring out adulting, and we thought, what if instead of interrupting their content scroll with ads, we actually created something they genuinely want to watch.
I love that. And I think that a lot of brands are saying, how is this possible? It's the same as when brands think about doing an ad and in their head, they're thinking about the production that goes into building a Super Bowl ad. But in the era of AI, I think AI is bringing this to the masses. Not today, not tomorrow, but a week from now. In the sense that, like, what's a not so distant futurist perspective of like what's AI going to be creating for us? Well, we've seen what video generation does. We've seen what's possible there. And in a not so distant future, and I know that a lot of folks in Hollywood are concerned and worried. People that are in production are concerned and worried, and legitimately so. And I'm not by any means saying AI should just create all of our content. In fact, I think there's going to be this like surge to the old school content creation in the future, right? But we'll put that aside. We'll put our perspectives on how we feel about it. What does it mean? We're not that far away from brands creating really personalized content for you and for people. Let's say the Netflix of the future. You're going there and you're like, I want a show that gives me this, and this, and add Brad Pitt. Insert whoever you want, right? And then maybe Brad Pitt gets a nickel every time that happens. But people are going to be able to create their own things. So I think this is an awesome moment for brands. It's a moment for them where they can do hyper-personalization. They can really maximize their efficiencies. They can create content that actually makes people want to lean forward. Every generation's more skeptical of ads, right? They're trying to move their way out. Ad blockers on websites, anything else. People just tune it all out. And so if you could hit them with humor, if you can lean in and pull them forward. And I mean, what BILT is doing, what HomeGoods did, what other brands are doing in this space really creates loyalty, really creates brand affinity in a marvelous way.
Now, speaking about some of those other brands, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the Barbie movie. It is probably the pinnacle of commercial success for a brand doing that, where the entire movie is product placement, but we love it. And somehow it's about feminism and the female experience, and it's extremely well written, and the cast is fantastic. But you're aware the whole time, the marketer in you is like, oh, I still know this is a stealth ad campaign, as a TikTok user put it. But there was a recent Adweek article, because this is something that this episodic, content kind of movement is catching a lot of attention, that talked about a couple brands doing this that I wasn't even aware of. One is Argos. They're a UK retailer that created a mockumentary style series called Arg House, which showcases all of their products through a fictional art gallery. It is hilarious. InStyle has one. They're a fashion publication. They launched their own mockumentary series called The Intern, which actually blends fictional characters with their real InStyle staff, which is kind of meta and fun. And State Farm, who we've talked about on the show, leaning into this new age of product placement, where they did the Severance ad, where the State Farm ad is happening inside that show, which is super cool. Also launched Gamerhood, which is a reality TV show that streams on Twitch and YouTube. So this is something we are starting to kind of see happen more and more and more. And with the advert of ease of AI and other brands kind of seeing who's going to enter the space first and then want to jump on the bandwagon, it's likely we're going to see a lot more of this.
And I think a lot more brands utilizing Twitch. We're starting to see that more and more. And I think that that's just a bold platform for attracting and reaching some of the younger generation gamers. There's a whole host of different reasons to be on there.
And now for something completely different.
So, unpacking what we talked about on the show today, HomeGoods and BILT with their serial content. If we had to put this to work, first thing would be content first, ad second. The reason that these two mashups work, it's because the logo is absolutely nowhere but in the periphery, right? In the bio, somewhere else. That's really what's getting mind share and making people lean forward. The fact that it doesn't necessarily feel like an ad. Number two, you don't need Hollywood to do this. In fact, one of the things that we covered on today is that these feel like Netflix docuseries, but they're shot in-house and intentionally to look that way. Third, we're all on the same team, right? Well, really, I think the thing that works really well in both of these cases is it's a collaboration between in-house teams and their agency partners. We're all trying to figure out how to make our content really sizzle, but not necessarily feel too produced. And last would be, this is really a wake-up call for retailers. Most retailers are stuck in this static, seasonal ad mode. HomeGoods breaks the model. They throw out the playbook and they actually go for something creative in this category. Challenger brands are building fan bases with serial content, and it's not because nobody has attention spans. It's because coupons are dead, folks.
Why don't you let me fix you some of this new Mococo drink? All natural cocoa beans from the upper slopes of Mountain Nicaragua, no artificial sweeteners.
What the hell are you talking about? Who are you talking to?
So if you had to take anything away from the show today, Veronica.
So for many businesses, the best way to truly break from the norm is to get outside your typical boardroom and engage an agency partner. Shameless plug and product placement. Oh, let me just turn the label out. So if you're looking for a great agency partner, wink, wink, to bring you some bold ideas to the table, we know some folks, and it could be a really great way to take a big risk and a big swing and do something new.
Wow, that's the longest one I think you've ever done. That's the longest takeaway.
Oh, I love take all of it.
Well, mine would be the real shift in advertising isn't about placing your product in a show. Gone are those days. It's about finding a story to tell that's so good, people will forget that they're in an ad at all. And with that, we're out, folks.
Thanks for listening. If you liked what you heard, smash the subscribe button or listen wherever you get your podcasts. We're out of here.